The live stream was muted, so we're gonna have to restart the whole thing. That's fantastic. That happened last week. Hey,
week.
Chris, thank you very much for letting us know, Chris. That's fantastic. That's okay. We can restart. You know, we're always better on take number 2 anyway. There's always a bit of that here. Thanks for letting us know, Chris. Did you just watch us for like 7 minutes with no sounds? Is that what just happened? Were you just actually laughing your butt off? Just be like, look at those two Muppets. I'm gonna give them 10 minutes and I'm gonna tell them. I love it. All right, that's all good. That's all good. We can restart, everybody.
We don't want you guys to miss out what we were yattering on about.
Exactly. All right. So this is the NZ Travel Show. Ask us all your questions in the live chat. Tell us if we're muted. That's even better. We'd love to know. And yeah, Chris says, timed in a few minutes ago, then I thought it was my laptop. Oh, so we made a joke on you where you were trying to fix your laptop. Sorry about that, Chris. Very, very sorry. Okay, so here's how this live show works. You can ask us all your questions in the live chat. We're here to interact with you guys for a whole hour, minus the 6 minutes we just spent, in quietness. Laura's just dead inside right now. And in the meantime, we actually pick a theme every week to kind of go over. And the way we cover that theme, it's a new thing for us, but we go over questions relating to that theme that we received throughout the years. So that's questions on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on emails, or people like in the live show asking us questions. So any of those questions, we kind of collate them together into a collection of 20 questions about that subject. Today it is all about packing. All right, Chris says, thank you for making these. I just bought the NZ Pocket Guide PDF. Oh, that's lovely. We are heading up in November 14th. We can't wait. Oh, that's awesome, mate. So yeah, Chris, if you want to join us on Patreon for like a month or something, it's actually cheaper than the guide itself. And we actually do weekly group calls. So if you want to literally do a phone call or like a video call with us just after this live show, we're literally about to do that. So that's kind of fun. And since you bought the guide, you can even send me an email. I can give you the link and it's fine. You can join in this week. No stress at all. So yeah, very happy to help, my friend. And if you have any questions, go for it right now in the live chat. We're here for you. All right, in the meantime, let's get started with this question. Unheard of ever before. Laura has no idea what this question is. Not like we just answered it.
Okay.
Okay, so first questions come from... I messed up the name the first time, so I may as well take a deep breath and do it correctly. First question comes from Priya from India. Priya from India asks, is sunscreen really essential even if I have a darker skin?
Yes. Absolutely, yes. So the UV levels in New Zealand are a lot higher than elsewhere in the world. Like New Zealand has basically the highest UV rated levels, right?
One of the highest.
One of the highest. So if you're usually not prone to getting sunscreen wherever you come from, and then you come to New Zealand, you will soon find out that you are prone to sunscreen. We have met many people with darker skin that we've done hikes with, and then by the end of it, they're like, I have sunburn for the first time in my life. And so it's definitely a real thing. New Zealand's sun is very harsh.
What kind of FPF should they go for?
You should definitely, the SPF, you should go for SPF 30 plus, nothing below 30.
I mean, somebody that buys like SPF 15 literally just bought milk in the medical bottle. There's no reason to buy SPF 15. That's nonsense.
Yeah, so definitely some actually decent SPF sunscreen is absolutely essential for your trip to New Zealand, especially any time pretty much after September through summer. Yeah.
Indeed. So that would be from September, let's say, all the way to like April. Yeah. All right. More information for you, Priya, on NZ Pocket Guide. You may want to check it out. It's free. Whoop, whoop. Cool. The next question comes from somebody from France. Do you know how I know they're from France?
Because their name is Pierre.
Yeah, that is always a dead giveaway, isn't it? All right. So Pierre from France.
I'm surprised you're not called Pierre.
Yeah, I'm Pierre. So, question from Pierre from France. What kind of day bag should I bring for sightseeing?
So definitely, I would recommend having some sort of backpack. So it makes it more comfortable for doing more active activities, which tends to be what people are doing in New Zealand, whether that's doing, hiking or jumping onto, say, a jet boat tour. Like backpacks are usually just the most easy, convenient type of day pack to have in New Zealand. And then in terms of size, you want between, say, like 20 to 30 liters, so you can pack all your essentials in there.
Yep.
So between water bottles, sunscreen, extra layers, maybe a rain jacket as well, maybe a few snacks for the road, that sort of thing. So, that can add up to quite a few things. So yeah, that's a decent sized backpack for your day travels.
An extra little tip for you, if you are planning to travel New Zealand in winter, which is June, July, August, make sure that day pack has one of those rain cover, or buy an extra one of those rain cover on the day pack, because if it gets soaked, because of, bags that tend to be made of thicker material, in New Zealand in winter, it's highly likely it's never going to dry. And then you're going to carry a musty, wet day pack around for the entirety of your trip. So learn from my mistake and don't do that.
And hair dryers are not a good idea for drying out your day pack or your shoes.
No.
Yeah.
Laura did burn my insoles by putting a hairdryer in a shoe to dry it and just leaving it there, and then it shrank to like almost nothing and was unusable. I'm still upset at her to this day, and that was a decade ago. All right, more information for you, Pierre, on NZ Pocket Guide. Check it out. Okay, who do we have in the live chat? Earth Pack is amazing, says Chris, and Matua X says Morena. I don't know what Earth Pack is.
Ooh, we'll have to look it up.
Yeah, that sounds eco. But
yes.
Give us more details, Chris. Chris probably working for it. It's kind of like, oh yeah,
Earth Pack is amazing.
Yeah,
guys.
plugging my brand right here. And Matua X says Morena, which means
means good morning in the local language of New Zealand, which is Te Reo Maori.
Indeed. All right, so next questions come from Thiago from Brazil. Thiago wants to bring the biggest of all carry-ons ever. He wants to bring water bottle for his trip, enough water bottles for his trip. Or is tap water safe to drink? No, you don't need to bring enough water bottles for your trip, Thiago. You definitely can bring a reusable water bottle.
Yes. In the vast majority of cases, tap water is safe to drink in New Zealand. Robin and I have been basically living all our New Zealand life having tap water. We've never bought a bottle of plastic water before. We just brought our reusable bottle and used them for the whole time in New Zealand, and it's a great way to obviously save on plastic. It's a great way to save on money.
Yeah,
the water in New Zealand
save the planet.
It's great. Like, it's not well, it depends on which areas you go to, but a lot of the places it's not like over chemically or
yeah, we don't do much chlorine kind of purification in New Zealand, so the water tend to taste really good.
In a lot of places it comes like fresh from a spring, so yeah, it's an experience, the drinking the water from the tap.
I love that. I'm going to give you an extra tip, Thiago. So as you can see at the bottom, there's a lot of different logos going on. So we do a lot of travel guides for the South Pacific Islands as well, and those South Pacific Islands, well, quite often lack access to safe drinking water. And so even when traveling around the South Pacific Island, most people do buy bottled water. Well, what we do, we use live straw bottled water, which are basically bottled water with a filtration system in it. And those last for a few months and only cost you about like $30. And it's definitely worth doing because it will save you a lot of plastic, a lot of money. And we travel throughout the whole South Pacific without even using plastic bottles. So happy days. More information about how to travel New Zealand sustainably on nzpocketguide.com. Check it out. It's all free, Thiago. And it's free for you if you're not named Thiago as well.
Chris is saying, all waterproof backpack, extremely waterproof. We learned it when we were taking kayaking lessons from the instructor, and it would be incredible for all the seasons and rain in New Zealand. We're bringing ours. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
So you don't have to get that extra like rain cover over your backpack.
So wait, are you saying that your backpack is basically a dry pack? Because we obviously travel a lot with dry packs as well. When we do kayaking and everything, we put a lot of camera gears in a dry pack, right? But you're saying your actual backpack is a dry pack. That is really cool. I'm kind of really keen to learn more.
Yeah.
Chris,
We're sold on it.
Chris, you're doing a really good job to be Earthpack's
Ambassador.
spokesperson. Yeah, I love it. Cool. Macho Alex says this is a different kind of live. Yes, so we decided to change a little bit the format. So both the visual format where we're going vertical because people like vertical now, and it changed not much to us. So may as well give the people what they want.
We just have to sit closer together.
That's a bit embarrassing though, but that's okay. But the other thing that we're doing is we actually, rather than kind of going in depth into a subject which we find was boring people to death, what we decided to do is that we
There were a few deaths. Continue.
What we decided to do is that every time we want to pick a theme, what I'll do is that scour like all our YouTube comments or Facebook questions or Facebook messages or Instagram comments and messages, etc., and even our emails, and see what questions related to that subject came up, and we're just answering people's question. It's just a little, just a bit more interactive, I'm guessing. We'll see how it goes, right? That's only the second time we're doing that. So yeah,
let us know what you think, guys.
Yeah.
If you have any opinions on this new format,
if you like or don't like the format, we kind of need to know, because at the end of the day, we know all those answers. We're doing it for you guys, so it's better if you tell us, oh, I like this or I don't like this, etc. So yeah, happy days. Should I do another question?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's move
All right.
on.
Moving on. All right, Fatima from Saudi Arabia asks, will I need formal clothes for any activity in New Zealand?
On a normal trip to New Zealand, no.
No.
New Zealand is a very casual country when it comes to clothing. Even if you're going on a night out, just wearing sort of like your least shabbiest pair of jeans and your least shabbiest top is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, ladies, you can leave your ballroom dress back at home, and guys, your tuxedo can stay in the closet.
You
it's
definitely
fine.
don't need to bring heels or anything like that. So yeah, just usually a good clothes to pack for New Zealand are more the practical clothes that you'll need for exploring the outdoors. Maybe if you want to have more of it, if you're spending a lot of time in towns and stuff, you can have like, jeans and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just like casual. It's just casual. It's super casual in New Zealand. It's super laid back. So yeah. Unless you have, say, a very special event that you're coming to New Zealand for, maybe you're going to somebody's wedding.
Oh, definitely show up with your shabby jeans, like 100%.
There obviously are instances that may require more formal wear, but I'm sure you would know that before coming to New Zealand.
Indeed. More information about traveling in New Zealand, what to pack with, like full packing list for your trip to New Zealand on NZ Pocket Guide. You may want to check it out, Fatima. That may be very helpful to you for your holiday to New Zealand. So the next question we have comes from Jürgen from Germany, saying, are there places to buy outdoor gears if I forget something?
There are places to buy outdoor gear in New Zealand, luckily, because there is a lot of outdoor related things to do. However, it's usually more expensive than buying outside of New Zealand. New Zealand is, a country very, very much remote, very isolated. So everything is shipped from overseas. Pretty much when it comes to like making clothes and things like that.
And compounding that, we're also a very small population, so we can't ship them in large quantities to have massive economies of scale. So long story short, the outdoor gears you're going to find in New Zealand are going to be significantly more expensive than what you used to in Germany, or if somebody watches this from like North America, for example, it's going to be vastly more expensive than in North America. In fact, when we have friends coming from the US or anything, we get them to bring us gears because it's vastly cheaper that way. But yeah, there are a lot of options, though. There's a lot of different outdoor stores, and some brands that you may hear in New Zealand you may need to seek out are
so outdoor brands are things like Kathmandu, Macpac, Torpedo 7. You could even pick up a few outdoor gear at the warehouse, which is like
you mean the Mountain Warehouse?
Oh, the Mountain Warehouse. Yeah, let's do that one first. Mountain Warehouse doesn't have a huge selection, but you can find them in Queenstown, for instance. And then you can find like at department stores, say if you go to the warehouse, you'll find some maybe cheaper outdoor gear, but obviously it's usually less good than the other brands
it's not
that
gonna
we
last.
just dated.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some options.
But the best thing to do is to genuinely make lists and don't forget anything.
Yes.
The one thing that we do really good in New Zealand when it comes down to outdoor gears are merino wool items. So you'll find like merino wool socks, underlayers, undergarments, those kind of things. And yeah, we do that really, really good. We do that really, really well in New Zealand, and they're really good quality, so they will last for a very long time. That said, they come at a really high premium price, but that's because a lot of the merino wool is done in New Zealand. Quite often, you will find it a reasonable price here in New Zealand compared to overseas because they already are a very expensive item. More information about packing for your trip to New Zealand for you, Jürgen, on nzpocketguide.com. And if your name is not Jürgen, it's fine. You can still find your information on NZ Pocket Guide. We're good like that.
Yeah.
Macho Ike says, that's cool. The live is a bit different. I did a live stream on TikTok when I was in Sydney, Australia in August. That's fun. That's nice. Well, right now we're on YouTube. Laura keeps on asking me to do live on like Instagram and TikTok and all that thing. I just can't figure it out just yet. So when I figure out how to have that stream live on multiple platforms, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But I haven't figured it out yet. Until then,
here we are on YouTube, as we always have been.
Exactly. Okay, so the next question comes from somebody very unusual, because I don't think we have a lot of viewership in China. No. However, we had mailing from China that says, do I need to pack warm clothes for New Zealand in summer?
Warm clothes?
Yes.
So clothes to keep
She wants to know how cold she's going to be in summer in New Zealand. So summer in New Zealand is November, December, January, let's say February. That's kind of like a warm month.
Yes. So I would still recommend bringing some warm clothes for the summer season in New Zealand, especially if you are traveling on the South Island, and especially if you're going to any mountainous areas. Say that, for instance, you're doing the Tongariro crossing. Say that you're going to Mount Cook to do like the Hooker Valley track.
Or if you're like Laura and it's always cold,
or if you're like
it's
me
fine.
and I feel the chill quite often. And also another thing to bear in mind is that basically as soon as the sun goes down in New Zealand, or if a big cloud comes over and the sun stops shining on you, because it's really like the heat of the sun can make you obviously really, really hot, but as soon as you're in the shade, the temperature feels vastly different. So yeah, I would recommend definitely having a few extra layers, definitely a rain jacket even still. So say you are doing something like the Tongariro crossing and it's a very windy day, even if it's a beautiful day, it can still be windy. Having that protection against the wind chill is good. Obviously, it can also rain in summer as well. So
4 seasons in one day, Maylin.
Yeah, and then having just that extra layer that you can carry around with you, that might be like an extra jumper or a mid layer, an extra hoodie, just to take the chill off when it inevitably comes.
Indeed.
It's definitely recommended.
All right, I hope that was helpful to you, Maylin. If you do have any extra questions, jump to any of our live streams and everything like that. And you can even check out our website for our full packing list, which even in summer, our summer packing list does include some warm items. All right, Macho X says, OBS to stream on 2 platforms. I've used it to stream on YouTube and Instagram, and I used my GoPro to stream on TikTok.
Oh,
interesting.
Cool.
Well, we're using OBS for this one, but I had to do a lot of very weird changes on the stream to even just being able to do vertical. So yeah, the setup was an absolute mess, but well, we'll see if I can figure it out one day. You know, I need to look into it again. I just like good, easy walkthrough, and I can't even find that like online. Somebody that's kind of like, here's like set up from scratch for like vertical streaming with OBS on multiple platforms. Here's the step-by-step. Honestly, somebody does that on YouTube or anything like that, I'd follow that. Easy. I love it.
And thanks to whoever gave us a little heart
just
then.
That's
just one little like, whoop.
Okay. So again, if you have any questions of your own, hi, Patrick.
Hi, Patrick B.
Patrick B. Oh, you're in more familiar basis.
Yes,
yeah, I like
formal.
it.
It's formal here.
I like it.
First and last name.
So if you have any questions of your own, go for it. We're here to answer all your questions. We have another 37 minutes for you. In the meantime, we'll take the next question that we prepared. So Alexei from Germany asks, should I bring a power adapter for my electronics when traveling to New Zealand?
If you're from Germany, yes. In New Zealand, we use the electrical plugs is the Type I. So this is like a 3-prong with a little face.
Yeah, it looks like a sorry emoji. So it's like 2 prongs like this. 2 prongs like that, and then a face like that. So yeah. That's all one.
Yeah, so that's the one that's used in New Zealand. It's the same as in Australia, for instance. So yeah, if your electronics don't fit that sort of plug, the Type I, then you will of course need a power adapter. If you are coming from the US, where the voltage is different, so in New Zealand I think it's 240 volts or hertz, 240 something, and if you're from the US, it's 110, so you will need to have a voltage adapter converter as well. But if you have the same voltage, should be fine from whichever country you're coming from.
Easy peasy. So yeah, just do your research. We do have a full article on NZ Pocket Guide that will go in details.
Into the details.
Yeah, so you have everything in writing, which is really easy. And also remember, don't stress it too much. A lot of the things like laptops and everything actually have the adapter included in it, which makes it really easy for like the different power strength. Yeah, that's right.
Smack the microphone.
Indeed. All right, more information, NZ Pocket Guide. Check it out, Alexei. Cool. Next question. Next question comes all the way from Nigeria, from Tolu. And Tolu asks, are there mosquitoes in New Zealand and should I bring a net? You do not need to bring a net to catch mosquitoes in New Zealand. Oh, no, you mean mosquito net.
Okay.
I'm funny.
There are mosquitoes in New Zealand, but they're really not a huge problem. Yeah. There's quite minimal amount of mosquitoes. However, something else that is more of a pest.
I was about to say that, yes.
Are sandflies. So doing your sort of usual, you won't need a mosquito net because sandflies don't really work that way. But you will still have, I recommend getting some insect repellent. All
right, so just a quick introduction to sandflies. So sandflies are basically very, very tiny little flies which comes and bite you. They usually stay, they're very active after the rain, near bodies of water, and usually on people which are standing still. So it's only on specific kind of areas, but some massive highlights of traveling in New Zealand, like Hokitika Gorge, are riddled with sandflies. So you will need very strong insect repellent. I'm saying strong doesn't mean it has to be the biggest chemical thing ever. We always use only natural mosquito repellent, and they worked mighty fine, but you do need to apply some for real. Just wanted to introduce that before you continue. Go for it.
So yeah, sandflies, insect repellent is a good way to sort of get rid of them.
But mosquito net, useless for that since you're going to be hiking along.
Yeah, and then any clothing, like long sleeve clothing, long pants, clothing protects you from sandflies as well. And yeah, if you find yourself basically sat somewhere for a while and they start to be a bit of a pain, then usually just moving, walking away, going somewhere else is a way to get away from them.
Indeed. All right, we have more information on the sandflies if you want to look into it, Tolu, on nzpocketguide.com. What is Patrick asking?
Patrick says, on the Mount John Observatory, is it possible to stay overnight with a motorhome? Not that I am actually aware of. I mean, the closest area to Lake Tekapo and the Mount John Observatory where you can freedom camp in a motorhome would be at the southern end of Lake Pukaki, which will be...
I was literally about to say that.
Yeah, it's about a 30 to 40 minute drive away. So that would be the best known place for freedom camping. You can check, say, on the Mackenzie Country Council website to see if there are any freedom camping laws for having a motorhome at the top of the Mount John Observatory, but from our knowledge, we are not aware that you can.
And to be quite fair, right, you're looking at the great expanse of the sky, right? So should you be in Lake Pukaki or in the Mount John Observatory, the night skies are going to be stunning and it wouldn't make much of a difference. So even if somebody was to open like a specific kind of a night sky campsites, just in there, that wouldn't make much of a difference compared to actually staying in the Lake Pukaki. So you may as well do that. I think you're gonna have absolutely stellar starry skies in there. Even if you're not in that branded place that you've heard of. So don't despair. He's sending us like crying emojis, which is a very creepy crying emoji, Patrick. So yeah. But yeah, so we have more places that we recommend to stay at, around this area on NZ Pocket Guide. You may want to check that out, and so we kind of say where to stay around the place, and just remember the Mackenzie kind of dark sky reserve is gigantic, right? So those couple of branded places that you've seen, like Mount Cook and Mount John and those kind of things, right? They're not necessarily just the one place where you'll get those night skies. Just reassuring you a little bit, Patrick. Don't panic.
Unless you just wanted a nice, easy place to park up where you were right now.
Who's in the camper van right now driving? He's like, can I just stay here? I want to stop driving.
I have to move.
I like it. All right. Chloe from Canada asks, will I need waterproof gears for winter New Zealand activities?
I would say yes. And many other people would probably say yes too.
I'm one of them. I'll say yes too.
Definitely, you will need a good rain jacket, not a cheap one. Get yourself a really good quality rain jacket. Get yourself waterproof hiking shoes. So there's lots of different technology like waterproof shoes, like
Gore-Tex and
that
stuff
sort
like
of thing.
that.
But each brand has their own sort of waterproof technology, but one of those like very decent waterproof hiking shoes is essential. And then for people that are going on, especially on multi-day hikes or full-day hikes, that literally will take you the full day, I would get a pair of waterproof trousers as well, so they just go over the top of your hiking trousers, and then with all that get up, you will be really comfortable for hiking in the rain. Like, I've done hikes like fully waterproofed up before, and it doesn't take anything away from the experience. It's really fun. So yeah, as long as you've got good gear, you will have a blast.
So yeah, do pack those gears. But if you're from Canada, Chloe, you probably already have some of those gears. You're just wondering how much room you're going to have in your luggage. All right, more information on what to pack on NZ Pocket Guide for you, Chloe.
Some little hearts.
Yeah, this is very distracting, by the way. Whoever's clicking on all their hearts from time to time, you just kind of like takes up our screen.
Robin is the first YouTuber to complain about that.
Oh, no. Keep doing the heart if you want. I'm just kind of like
classic French complaining, like, these hearts are very distracting, people. I find them adorable, and I think you should keep going.
Okay, so now that we've established that I'm the world's worst person,
or the world's worst YouTuber. Yes.
Yeah, well, that we know that. Look at the amount of views we're getting. We already know that.
That's
We've
already been
established that.
established,
Exactly. Yeah. Looking at the comments and the amount of complaints we get, like this morning again, I was going through the YouTube comments and the insult and bad word. We already know we're the world's worst YouTubers. That's no news.
Oh well.
Anyway, welcome to the world's worst YouTube channels, everybody. So yeah,
hit the love button if you are happy to be here on the world's worst YouTube channel. See, we got the heart still pouring in.
Oh Lord. So you just have to self-deprecation kind of works, isn't it? All right. So we are taking all your questions about traveling in New Zealand. That's what we're doing here. The theme of this week is packing, but if you have questions about anything else, like Patrick just had about Mount John Observatory, feel free to pitch in. And in the meantime, let's continue down the list of the questions that were sent in advance. So the next question is a travel towel useful, or a travel towel... Let's just say that again. There's too many T's.
It's like a tongue twister.
Yeah. Is a travel towel useful, or a towel provided everywhere? Asks Thomas from the UK.
Travel towels are useful. That's hard to say. Travel towels are definitely useful for traveling in New Zealand. Even say if you are staying in hotels, where towels are definitely provided in hotels and basically any sort of mid-range to luxury accommodation.
Yeah. Anything that's not a hostel or a holiday park will have towels for you.
But travel towels are really useful for when you are doing any impromptu swimming. If, say, you are going blackwater rafting or caving or whitewater rafting.
Or even if you go to the hot pools, like it's always unbelievable how most of the hot pools in New Zealand, you're not provided a towel. So at that point, you will need to have a towel with you. That said, bringing a cotton towel will be a mistake.
Yeah, so travel towels definitely like that is the best way to go. They are the ones that fold up the smallest. They are the ones that dry much quicker than cotton towels. Like trying to dry a cotton towel
On the go.
while traveling in New Zealand is it's like the biggest faux pas of traveling in New Zealand. It
La-di-da.
Yeah, it is really, really tough.
The queen would be upset.
It will smell. It will never dry. So
Yeah.
travel towels are definitely the way to go. And also, especially if you are staying in budget accommodations, if you're camping, if you are staying in a hostel, some camper van and motorhome rental companies do provide towels, but not all of them. So yeah, whether you're staying in those budget accommodations or not, bring a travel towel.
Here you go. We do have a list of like things you must bring to New Zealand, or like travel gadgets per se, but that's, one of the one on the list, so they're not always just gadgets. We do have that on NZ Pocket Guide if you want to check it out. Just go on NZ Pocket Guide and use the search bar and type gadget, and you'll find like a list of things that we've found useful when traveling in New Zealand. Maybe worth checking out.
Maybe.
Okay, Matua X is giving us an extra weird as emojis. The cowboy smiley emoji, I like it. Okay, next question. So Carlos from Spain is complaining that we always talk about the unpredictable weather of New Zealand. So he wants a rundown of what to pack for that. It's like the weather is unpredictable in New Zealand. Okay, what do I pack?
Pack for all scenarios. So especially
bring your house.
Especially we talk about rain jackets a lot on this channel, but yeah, pack a rain jacket. Even in summer it can rain and you will be so glad to have a rain jacket on you. Bring some extra layers. So bring some under layers, which are just like sort of thin, either like thermal layers or merino wool layers, that sort of thing, which can keep like extra warmth in.
And that's the biggest tips that I give people, right? You're coming to New Zealand, you're not 100% sure about like the, like how the weather is going to be treating you, etc., right? I get it. One thing that you can do, just to guarantee it, right, is that you're bringing a rain jacket, which is going to basically be your windbreaker and your waterproof layer. And then underneath, you have multiple layers. So you have a thermal layer, you have your classic like t-shirt or something, and you have one jumper, right? If you have those 3 layers and the rain jacket on top of it, you genuinely make do for that down jacket that you didn't bring or anything like that, right? And the good thing about it is that it provides you flexibility. You're halfway through the hike and now it's like midday, you're high in the mountain and all
sun is
exactly, all hell break loose and like you feel like God is currently sizzling on top of the volcano, and you kind of like, I'm not a steak, stop sizzling me. At that point, remove some layers, and that's really easy to do. But if you only have that down jacket and that t-shirt, then you're going to be like, either I'm freezing or either I'm sweating. And so that's the way I will pack for New Zealand if I'm traveling in summer and I want to be prepared for all the different seasons.
Yeah, versatile clothing is key.
Indeed. All right, more information on how to pack on NZ Pocket Guide. Of course, we got you back, Carlos. Everything is on the website for you and for free.
Yay!
That was high. Macho X says he's going to be here on the group chat. That's fun.
Cool.
Nice.
We'll see you there.
See you there, indeed. Cool. You ready for the next question?
Yes, sure.
I love how exotic that name and country sound. I like it. So, are hiking boots necessary for New Zealand or will trainers do? Asks Aisha from Kenya.
Hiking shoes are definitely preferable for New Zealand. What?
Hiking shoes!
Sorry for the crazy pitches of the voice. Hiking shoes are definitely the best way to go for New Zealand, especially most of the activities you'll be doing in New Zealand, usually for most people, is walking. Even if it's just a short amount, you will find that all those little walks do add up as you're road tripping around. You do end up feeling a lot of the time that you are on your feet all day. We've talked about the changeable weather, so having hiking shoes that can also be waterproof, protecting your feet from getting absolutely soaked and being miserable. Hiking shoes are definitely the best option. Yeah.
That's the number one tip. And you're about to say it. No, I was about to say they have to be waterproof. You've got to shop for them to be waterproof. Otherwise, first, they're going to take forever to dry, and second, it's absolutely uncomfortable to actually walk with like wet feet. And quite a few of even just the walks in New Zealand have like little streams and this and that, so you can get your feet wet very very easily. And trainers just they usually don't make it.
Yeah. If you are, if you're only visiting towns, say you're just going to Auckland, then you're going to just around the town of Rotorua and then around the town of Queenstown, then trainers are usually okay for that. And they're still obviously comfortable to be on your feet all day with. But yeah, as soon as you start getting into varied terrain, we definitely prefer and recommend hiking shoes.
Indeed. All right, so the next questions come from. Oh, that was a quick transition. Hey, Laura, did you enjoy that question? I just feel like I just kind of like battering you with questions right here.
That was a marvelous question. I want another one.
Do I need to bring my own reusable shopping bags? Asks Hiroshi from Japan.
Yes, you do. If you're planning to do any shopping or self-catering or any of that, be aware that New Zealand does not give out bags for free anymore.
We did ban single-use plastic bags from pretty much old stores quite a few years back.
Yeah, so everybody in New Zealand does their shopping with reusable bags. That's kind of the standard in New Zealand now. However, if you don't have a reusable bag, you can purchase paper bags. I can't remember.
Yeah,
what
so
the
current prices,
is,
yes,
but,
I was about to say. So current price is about 30 cents for a paper bag. And if you want to buy a reusable shopping bag from like the stores or anything like that, it's usually about $7. So be aware of that. And, it's kind of like nice, up to you to decide, right? Do you think it's worth kind of packing that extra thing in your bag or spending about $7 in New Zealand on your first shopping? And so you have one bag and you should be good to go. So it's kind of up to you to do that, like weighing it. But again, we're talking $7. So it's not really the decision of a lifetime.
Yeah, we've definitely had a lot of experiences in New Zealand where we've met people that were just leaving New Zealand. They'd bought a shopping bag in New Zealand and then they were leaving and they were like, hey, do you want this shopping bag before we go back?
Yeah, especially if you stay in hostels and everything like that, you'll be able to kind of grab some for free. Like everybody that's leaving kind of leave a bunch of stuff behind. Usually you find like ice packs, usually herbs and spices, those kind of things, they're always left behind. All right, good question, Hiroshi. Good question.
Love it.
Leo is here, says, what's up, guys? I'm very happy because I'm going back to live in New Zealand in January, but this time Wellington and not Auckland. Nice.
Oh, fun.
Are you going to make it to the south? I don't know what, Leo. It feel like you keep on going south, like Auckland or Wellington.
Next time.
Yeah, next time you're going down, we're doing like Picton or Christchurch, then Queenstown, and then Invercargill. Is that the step-by-step plan for you? I like it. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, you'll love it in Wellington.
Cool. So, next questions come from Slovenia, and Anna asks, should I bring swimwear if I'm visiting in winter?
Yes, you should.
Wow, I'm going to freeze.
Well, not to just walk around.
To hike the Tongariro Crossing in winter?
You should hike the Tongariro Crossing in winter.
I've been told off. All right, winter swimwear, why?
Yeah, so it is still recommended to bring swimwear in winter in New Zealand because there's still some water activities that you can do in winter. If you want to try one of the beautiful geothermal hot pools, then that's an opportunity to get into your swimwear, or togs, as they say in New Zealand.
Yeah, learn the lingo. Togs is that swimwear in Kiwi slang.
If you're more of an adventure traveler and you want to try whitewater rafting, you want to try maybe doing the Waitomo caves and the caving, the blackwater rafting.
Or you want to go swim with dolphins in Kaikoura, for example, where, they'll give you obviously a wetsuit and everything like that, but you do need
swimwear underneath. You can't go nude.
If you want to go to...
I don't think they like it if you go nude underneath their wetsuits.
Or if you want to go to hot pools in New Zealand as well, which are fantastic to do in winter because all steamy and stuff. It makes
the best.
Yeah, it's so good. So yeah, I definitely recommend packing your swimwears or togs, Anna. All right, next question, and I'm going to have to read that name very carefully. I'm going to try to not mess it up. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to not mess up that name. Are we ready? Is it necessary to bring my own insect repellent? Asks Boy Tumelo from South Africa.
Ooh. It's not necessary. Necessary is a strong word. You can get insect repellent in New Zealand. There are plenty of pharmacies, supermarkets, even convenience stores that convenience stores may do insect repellent, but supermarkets and pharmacies you can find insect
Sure, yeah.
repellent in New Zealand, so you can pick up some if you need some. But yeah, by all means, you can bring your own if you do have a preferred insect repellent and
Yeah.
you don't want to spend time shopping once you arrive in New Zealand.
And the one thing I'm going to be saying is that in New Zealand, most of the time you're going to find that blue stuff, which is called repel or something. What's
not
no,
repel.
what's the blue
Ooh, I
or
don't know
guard
what the-
something? Anyway,
Yeah.
one of the blue kind of chemical one that stinks and it's kind of horrible.
There's the blue one, and then there's Bushman's Friends.
Yeah,
They're the
so-
two most chemically ones.
Yeah, and so you'll be able to find those two ones pretty much everywhere. But if you do want something a bit nicer on yourself and the planet, or something more eco or anything like that, I recommend getting it from back home because it's going to be easier to source. We always struggle a little bit to find the one that we like. If we have one that we recommend, it's called Raw Natural, and it is a New Zealand brand. It's just really hard to find in stores and everything.
Yeah.
So you may want to plan ahead for that. NZ Pocket Guide for more information, recommendations. We test all of those insect repellent ourselves, and you can see at the bottom right here. We also do travel guide for a lot of the South Pacific islands, which have very ravenous mosquitoes, especially to the remote places that we're visiting when we go there. So we have a lot of experience with insect repellents, and yeah, we can tell you which one works and which one don't. So check out the website, and you'll find all this information.
Yeah.
Boy Tumelo, that was a fun name.
Mm.
All right, next up on the list of questions, and that's the classic how to spot a tourist around New Zealand. The question is from Sam from the USA and asks, can I wear jeans for hiking in New Zealand?
I mean, it's not recommended.
You can. Nobody stops you,
Yeah.
right? We do have freedom
It's a
of
free
choice in New Zealand.
country.
Exactly. You can if you want. But somebody hiking the Tonga Road Crossing, for example, in their jeans, they're tourists.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're just doing, say, a quick 10-minute, 20-minute walk in your jeans, that's fine. That's usually like, who cares what you're wearing at that point? But if you're doing any walk that's like an hour or above, jeans start to get really uncomfortable. First of all, they don't keep any of the heat in. So
Yeah.
as soon as that temperatures are changing, you can get a bit chilly, or you can end up being like way too overheated in jeans as well, on the opposite end of the scale. As soon as there's wet weather, then as soon as your jeans get wet, it takes forever for them to dry. So they're definitely like, they'll just bog you down. They'll make you so cold if they get wet as well. So yeah, jeans just in general are not a good idea for the weather in New Zealand and for hiking. So yeah.
So instead, what we recommend is those kind of quick, dry hiking pants. So, you can find them in all different brands. Like I personally use Columbia, for example. And they're usually kind of really thinner. So if you are planning on hiking in winter, you will want one of those long johns, one of those underlayers. But yeah, you will want to have one of those quick, dry pants. I'm also kind of getting used to those one that you can take the bottom off and make them short and everything.
The zip ones.
Yeah, the zip
around
ones.
the leg.
Actually, it's not bad. It's not the worst at all. So I kind of like.
Yeah,
those ones
they
as
get
well.
like a bad rap. Like a lot of people are like, oh, they're so nerdy, but man, they're practical. They're good.
Yeah, here you go. Be a nerd, be practical, and don't be a tourist. Don't wear jeans. That's our advice for you, Sam. More information on all of like those kind of packing gears and everything like that on NZ Pocket Guide. If you want to take your time to kind of go through our checklist, etc., to make sure that you've packed everything, make sure to check out the website. We've got you covered.
Leo says, I lived for a year in Auckland. That city is quite humid and it rains every day. But guys, I was looking for cities with more sun, sunniest cities.
Yeah, well, that's not Wellington, mate. You're wrong.
Yeah,
the sunniest city,
Nelson.
yeah, the sunniest city in New Zealand in amount of hours of sun per year. So yearly, hours of sun. Yeah, that's the word.
Sun hours.
Yeah, well, this one, what she says is actually Nelson. So Nelson is in the Tasman area on the top of the south island of New Zealand. It ranks very, really high in like sun hours every single year in New Zealand. It's kind of like you either have like those beach retreats in kind of like around Nelson, or you have them in Northland, which is the area above Auckland. That little extra protuberance that the North Island has on top.
I don't think it likes being called a protuberance, but yes.
Yeah. Leo's
Napier or Gisborne is also legitimate. They are both on the North Island, and that East Coast is definitely gets more sunshine hours. They are very well known, especially for their grape growing, all that sort of thing. That being said, when there is bad weather in the summer, when there is cyclones maybe in the South Pacific,
you may get your feet wet.
They're usually the ones that hit the hardest. So it's in extreme cases they're not great, but in most of the time they're beautiful and sunny and lovely.
But they grow grape.
They grow grapes.
Here you go. Shouldn't laugh at that. That's encouraging the nonsense.
Not laughing. You speak your way, I speak my way. You know.
All right. The next question is from Maria from Argentina, saying, "Will I need a down jacket for the North Island in winter?"
A down jacket is usually not really necessary. The problem with down jackets is that you'll have this one down jacket. It will keep you really warm for when it is really cold and you do need that warm jacket.
You take half your suitcase.
But yeah, they take a lot of space. And what we kind of recommend instead of a down jacket is to have different layers of clothing that you can sort of take off and put on depending on what the weather is doing. Because sometimes it can be cold, sometimes it can be really warm, especially in the North Island is where you probably need a down jacket a bit less. The temperatures are a bit warmer on the North Island compared to the South Island. South Island is maybe where a down jacket is more like you're more likely to wear it more often, but in the North Island it's a bit of a milder climate. Just having say an extra so you have like an underlayer, you'll have a mid layer, and then a rain jacket on top. That's usually a good combination to keep yourself warm when it does get a bit chilly, but then when it inevitably gets a bit warmer and you're getting a bit sweaty or whatever, you can take all those layers off.
That said, if you're like Leo right now and about to spend a year in Wellington, New Zealand, right? If you base yourself in a city and those kind of cities which are windy and sometimes cold, I definitely will say investing in a down jacket at that point that you will use on a daily basis, for work commute and all that. At that point, that would make sense. I hope that answers your question, Maria from Argentina. If you have any more questions, you can check out the website, NZ Pocket Guide, or interact with us on any of those videos. And I pull questions from everywhere to create those videos. So that's fun.
It is.
Bowler Bazaar says, "Please tell me how to get a visa from Bangladesh." It's very easy to get a visa for New Zealand. You head to immigration.govt.nz. It's a very interactive website created by the Immigration Department of New Zealand, where you can answer a few questions and will tell you which visa path you can take. Once you get this this results, right, on different visa paths you can take, you can just click on your result and check out what are the requirements for each of those visas. They made it very interactive and very easy to use, so you can find what is the best path to coming to New Zealand for yourself. That's the best way. Easy peasy. Just go on the website, do the test, know the answer, and it comes right from the horse's mouth, which is Immigration New Zealand, rather than going through third-party kind of immigration advisor and everything like that would charge you an arm and a leg for their advice, which may or may not be accurate.
So that's immigration.govt.nz.
The horse's mouth. Next. Okay, it's been an hour, guys. Start slowly losing it. Leo says, "Actually, my plan is to stay 6 months in the North Island and 6 months in the South Island." Thanks, guys.
Perfect split.
Nice. That's awesome, Leo. I love it. And on top of it, you'll be able to get to the South Island very easily if you base yourself in Wellington. So that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Next questions come from Mexico. Miguel. Miguel asks, "Do I need hiking poles for New Zealand trails?"
This depends on you, really. If you are doing, say, multi-day hiking where you've got like a big, quite a big heavy backpack on your back, hiking poles are usually make that hiking process a lot easier. So
it depends on your fitness as well.
Yeah.
Like I've been given hiking poles a couple of times when I was going on a hike, and I find them more of a hindrance or something I play with more than actually use. I like sword fighting.
Again, depends on your fitness. Usually younger people don't generally need them so much unless they do multi-day hiking with the backpacks. you can go without, but some people find it a bit easier with hiking poles. However, if say you are over the age of 45 and maybe maybe your knees get a little bit like sore, maybe your hips, like when you're hiking, it's usually when you're going downhill and you're
Sorry, Miguel. Laura is picturing you literally on your deathbed right here. Lovely.
and you do often find pain in your knees or your hips, then those hiking poles can again be like really nice to sort of, even all the weight out and not have like so much strain on your knees and that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely, but depends on you, what you like, your fitness level. If you don't really think you're that fit, maybe hiking poles is a good idea. If you're doing all day hiking poles are a good idea. But otherwise, for really short hikes, if you're young and fit, you generally don't need to have that extra stuff in your luggage.
Yeah, so just adding something to that. So I don't think you're going to be using your hiking poles every single day in New Zealand. So for that reason, it's hard to allocate like that big of a space for it. So if I was to pack hiking poles for my trip to New Zealand, I will definitely make sure that the one I pack are collapsible ones, just to make my life easier and they're not more of a hindrance than they are anything else. That'd be my tip for you, Miguel.
And bearing in mind that the all day hikes that are the most popular and that are in the towns closest to them, for instance, if you're doing like the Tongariro Crossing, or if you're doing, say, any of the walks near Queenstown, there are places that hire out hiking gear, so you can hire out hiking poles. And in fact, places like on the Tongariro Crossing, if you go with Active Outdoor Adventures,
yes,
they also provide hiking poles to anyone that requests them as well, if you are older and stuff. So yeah, there are ways to acquire them for rental
for specific hikes.
Yeah, for specific hikes.
All right, more information on NZ Pocket Guide, as well as the people that we recommend to do the Tongariro Crossing with, for example. So check that out, Miguel. Bowler says, thank you. You both are so cute. Thank you very much. That's lovely. I work very hard on my cuteness. Then they ask, which visa is low budget for Bangladesh? Well, that's why I'm sending you to immigration.govt.nz, because it doesn't matter which visa is cheap or low budget or anything like that. It matters of your own circumstances and which visa is available to you, because it depends on your age, on your education, on your country of origin, on who you're bringing with, what you want to do in New Zealand, all those kind of things. So there's no point in saying, oh, this visa is cheap or this visa is good, because it doesn't matter if it's not available to you, right? So it's much better if you go to immigration.govt.nz and ask straight away, do the quiz, and then you know which one you have and you'll know the prices straight away. Adil said, that's a nice water bottle you two have. Quick review. Yeah.
It's a water bottle that we only use at home because it is a glass.
I prefer mine.
Yeah, it's a glass water bottle, so it's heavy, but it has a metal straw. Basically, it's not a plastic bottle, because we found in the past when we've had plastic reusable bottles, they start to chip away. So either getting a metal bottle like what Robin has over here, that's better for when you're out and about, and
my water bottle removes plastic from the ocean.
Yes. So yeah, a metal water bottle is definitely preferred for doing, going out and about in New Zealand. But just for us staying at home, we have this very heavy glass water bottle.
Yeah, and it's
definitely wouldn't recommend carrying that around with you. Yeah,
it's 1 liter as well, so it helps you if you drink it twice. It helps you drink your 2 liters a day easily, because it's just an easy thing to follow. Bowler Bazaar says, can you give me a visa? No, that's not how it works. If I could, I would hand out visas, left, right, and center.
Yeah, we would love for everybody to join us, but no, we have no authority giving out visas.
Absolutely none whatsoever. All right. So the next question that we have is for Laura. So Lucinda from
this one's for me.
Yes.
What about the other one?
No, the other ones were not for you. That was for both of us.
Okay.
So Lucinda from Australia says that she really likes all the photos that you've taken for all the websites that you guys are doing. Yeah, she knows that you're the one, Laura, in charge of taking the photos. Yes, I do nothing. And she says, what kind of camera gear should she take for New Zealand? What are your personal recommendations, Laura? That's more of a personal question, this one, because there's so many different cameras in the world.
Okay, for New Zealand, I feel that you can get really nice photos if you have wide angle lenses. So it depends what sort of camera you already have. You can achieve wide angle lenses on GoPros. They already come with the wide angle lens, which is also good to couple up. And when I say GoPro, I mean like action cameras. There's more than just the GoPro brand, but you can couple those up as when you're doing sort of adventure activities. They're more durable. They tend to be waterproof. Just double check that before you throw them in the water. So yeah, that's the most versatile camera, where you can get some really cool, nice wide angle shots where you can get, vast landscapes. But also, like, even if you're in small spaces as well, then you can capture more of that small space.
I found that fascinating that Laura recommends you straight away the wide angle, because the thing that she used the most is a zoom lens, because she loves capturing pictures of the birds, right? So the thing that she spent the most time playing around with, and it's not the biggest of all zoom lens, she used a 200mm zoom lens, but that's the thing that she used the most. But I find it quite interesting that you go straight for the wide angle.
Yeah,
it's where your heart is at the moment, I guess.
Yeah, I do actually. I'm really addicted to wide angle at the moment, but it depends on what you want to take photos of. Even zoom lenses work very well on landscapes if you are far enough away from them, which tends to be the case for places like if you're at Mount Cook and you are at the bottom of, say, Lake Pukaki looking up. Then there's often a lot of far away landscapes that are really beautiful. So also, your phone's cameras are pretty good nowadays. You have wide angle on your phone as well.
I think the biggest tip is bring the camera you have rather than investing, because New Zealand is that stunning. Kind of photos from any kind of devices will look good, especially if you know a little bit what you're doing. So if I had a choice right now into like kind of which camera to get or anything like that, I'm coming to New Zealand as a tourist, I genuinely would rather spend like $50 upskilling myself into how to take better photo with whatever camera I have right now, rather than spending $1,000 to get a brand new camera, if that makes sense, right? So upskill yourself into compositions and even just kind of like how to take photos, or even just using all the different settings in your phones or anything like that, and master that. Then you will find that your game is going to be so much more up. And on top of that, it's something that you'll be able to use throughout your life, rather than kind of like, oh, well, I didn't bring that super camera for my night out or anything. Well, no, you stumble upon something really awesome and you night out back home and you have those skills. I think that's the best way to go about it, rather than the other way around. But I'm a boring person, which is why I was passing this question to Laura. Here we go.
And I'm a fun person.
Yay. All right, more information on NZ Pocket Guide. Laura has actually photo tips and all these kind of things on the site, so you may want to check it out. I absolutely love Leo's last comment. So he says, in my first time in New Zealand, I brought 2 large suitcases, but today I think it's unnecessary because you can buy good jackets in secondhand stores. Yeah. That's true. We have a lot of secondhand stores in New Zealand with a lot of with a lot of outdoor gear. Yeah, because, well, when people leave no more, they leave a lot of secondhand clothes behind, and New Zealand is outdoorsy, so there's a lot of people that used to like the outdoors that leave no more, so you can get their jackets.
But it's not all dead people's stuff. It is some people grow out of their old clothes.
That's true.
But yeah, you can even get thermal underlayers, that sort of thing. Yeah, we're always looking in secondhand stores and just having a look, seeing what there is. And there is a lot of outdoor gear, so definitely that is worth considering as well.
Okay, so do you want to read Chris's question?
Chris says, question not relating to travel gear. We have the Te Patu already booked. For Te Puya, would it be worth it for us to do the guided tour, dinner and haka? They also have a dinner/show or a night gazer tour. We would also love to take you up on the link for the Patreon stuff. Cool. So let's answer the first question.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to answer the last question. Flick me an email. So, again, I'll send you the link for this week's live chat. Just send me an email at hi@southpacificpocketguide.com. You can find that in the contact page on any of our site. Flick me an email right now. We are going to go in 3 minutes. We're going to do that call. So, chop. In the meantime, your question. Te Patu and Te Puya are very different.
Yeah, so between those options that you've said, so for Tepatsu, that is obviously the night, it's like an evening Maori dinner show and sort of hands-on little workshop experience for different aspects of the Maori culture. So when you go to Tepuya, they do have different products there. I would say don't do the Maori haka and show at Tepuya because that will be too similar to what you'll experience at Tepatsu. I think the most different aspect of Tepuya that you can experience there is the geisha night tour. So you'll get to see their geothermal attractions, which is very different to what Tepatu offers. But yeah, also getting to see the geisha at night, they have it all lit up really nicely. And that provides a very different experience to what you will experience at Tepatu. So that's what I would recommend. If you're going to Tepuya, definitely choose the geisha at night experience. Or another thing they do, if you want to do something in the day, you can go and visit their geothermal park during the daytime as well. See all the bubbling mud and the crazy hot steaming features and the geysers, all that sort of thing. So yeah, anything to do with the geothermal aspect of Tepuya is more what I would lean towards, considering that you're already doing Tepatu. All right.
Yeah, good. Sorry, I was just quickly ensuring I have the link copied.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, Lawrence is here. Speaking of
it's been a
Patreon.
while.
From unusually warm Massachusetts. Interesting. Lawrence, pop into the chat. We're about to do it right now. We'd love to hear where you're at and what's new with you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. Unusually warm Massachusetts. Oh yeah, it's winter. It's supposed to be winter for you. You're supposed to be freezing right now. Lawrence, you should be like dreaming to come to our side of the world.
Adil says, thank you, Robin and Laura, for another helpful, informative travel show.
You're very welcome.
Adil.
Nice. All right, so we see you guys all next week for the same thing. I'll pick another theme. And yeah, here you go. If you have any ideas of theme, if you like the video, if you want to click on any of the buttons, that's the algorithm that makes the algorithm very happy. And yeah, see you all next week. I'm glad people are talking to us a little bit more with this new format of the show. We felt a little lonely for a few months on YouTube, so we had to do something different, isn't it? Yeah.
Great to see you back, guys, and thanks for all the little hearts you're sending our way.
It's distracting!
I love it!
It's distracting! All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye!